All right, if you're an Airbnb host in South Korea, listen up. 2025, this is the year everything changes. That casual side hustle? Yeah, that's pretty much over. So today, we're diving into your survival guide for what has become a very high-stakes game. You know, every host I talk to has this one deep-seated fear. It's that one tiny incident that just spirals completely out of control. And it almost always starts with something ridiculously simple. Something like, well, what we're calling the slippery slipper problem. This quote, wow, it just gets right to the heart of it, doesn't it? A guest slips, they mention a lawyer, and just like that, everything you've built feels like it's about to crumble. And look, this isn't some made-up scenario. This is a real story, and it perfectly captures that stomach-churning risk that hosts are dealing with right now. So here's the bottom line, the thing you really need to get. Because of all these new regulations, the entire landscape has shifted. Your Airbnb, it's not just a spare room anymore. Nope, in the eyes of the law, you are now running a small, regulated business. And what does that mean for you? It means you're about to navigate a pretty complex legal obstacle course.
But here's the good news. This obstacle course, it comes with a map. We can actually break down this whole complicated legal environment into a simple 4-layer framework. And if you can understand this, you've got the key to doing this whole thing right.
Okay, so what I love about this is how it takes all that chaos and gives it some order. Just think of each layer here as a gatekeeper, right? And you have to get past every single one. So layer 1 is the big stuff, national Korean laws, local zoning. Then layer 2 is your personal paperwork, your business registration, your license. Layer 3, that's Airbnb's own rules, their terms of service. And finally, the 4th layer, and this one is super personal, the rules of your specific apartment building and whatever's in your lease. To be 100% totally legal, you need a green light from all 4. Get a no from even one of these, and you could get shut down. It's that simple.
All right, so now that you've got the lay of the land, those 4 layers, it's time to build your defense. This isn't optional. This is your non-negotiable legal and financial protection. We're talking about your liability shield.
And speaking of non-negotiables, there is a date you have to burn into your memory. Get out your phone, open your calendar, whatever you need to do, October 16th, 2025. And I'm serious, this is not a suggestion, this is a hard deadline, and it's being enforced by the platforms themselves.
So what does this actually mean for you? Well, in practice, it means you have to have a valid business registration certificate and an official accommodation license. And here's the critical part. You have to physically upload scans or photos of these docs right into your Airbnb profile. If you miss that deadline, the platform is just going to block all your future bookings. Poof, your business basically goes dark overnight. Okay, let's talk about a really common misconception. So many hosts think, oh, I've got AirCover, I'm all set. That is a huge mistake. Look, think of AirCover as a nice bonus, an extra layer of protection, but it's got a bunch of exclusions, and it was never designed for the unique quirks of Korean law. Your real shield, the thing that will actually save you, is dedicated local insurance. That's what covers you for the really tricky stuff, like disputes with your landlord or problems that come up from running a business in a residential building. And this quote, it just perfectly illustrates why those local issues are such a big deal. In Korea, your security deposit, your chonse, or your walse deposit can be a massive, life-changing amount of money. We're talking huge sums. And if you violate just one tiny sentence in your lease, maybe a clause that says no commercial activity, that entire deposit is suddenly at risk. It becomes a hostage. So this isn't just about a guest slipping anymore. This is about potentially losing your home and a fortune. So, once you've got your legal ducks in a row, you have to think about how you're structured as a business. Are you just an individual host? I mean, that's definitely simpler, especially for just one property, but the trade-off is that your personal assets are way closer to the business risk. The other option is setting up a small company. This is probably the way to go if you have multiple properties because it creates a clean separation between your business and personal finances. It does cost more to set up, though. And let me be clear, this is 100% a conversation you need to have with a local tax professional.
Okay, so that's all the big foundational stuff, the legal setup. Now let's get super practical. Let's talk about your day-to-day playbook, the things you can do to stop problems before they even have a chance to start.
Rule number 1, and this might be the most important one. Your lease agreement, that is your personal law. And your building manager, think of them as your silent business partner. Seriously, they can enforce rules that will shut you down way faster than any government inspector ever could. So keeping them happy, keeping them in the loop, that's not just about being polite, it's a core business strategy. All right, rule number 2, document everything. I mean it.
Make it a habit. Before every single guest checks in, pull out your phone and take time-stamped photos or even just a quick walkthrough video. Why? Because when a dispute happens, and it might, whether it's with a guest or your insurance company, that digital evidence is your absolute best defense. Remember this, documentation will always beat memory.
Your house rules are another key part of that liability shield we talked about. You need to be crystal clear, state the max number of guests, define your quiet hours, and trust me, in a Korean apartment building, those are sacred. Have a strict zero-tolerance policy for parties. But go deeper than that. Point out any little hazards like steep stairs, and label your safety gear, the fire extinguisher, the gas valve, in both Korean and English. It's all about showing you're a responsible, professional host.
And while we're on the topic of your building, let's talk about your neighbors. I want you to start thinking of them as your informal auditors, because they are watching. If they see you as a good, responsible business, they'll probably just leave you alone. But if they see your apartment as a nuisance, with loud parties, people dragging suitcases down the hall at 2 a.m., they are the ones who will pick up the phone and make the complaint that triggers an official investigation.
Okay, I know that was a lot to take in, so let's boil it all down and make it super real. Here is a concrete, simple action plan that you can literally start tonight. It'll take you, 15 minutes?
This is what I'm calling your no-drama plan. Ready? Step 1. On your computer, create a new folder. Name it Airbnb's Liability Stack 2025 or something like that. Step 2. Find your license, your lease, and your business registration and save digital copies right into that folder. Step 3, just open your house rules and find one paragraph, even one sentence that you can make a little bit clearer. And finally, Step 4, open your calendar and set a reminder for 6 months from now to just review this whole setup. That's it, see? In just a few minutes, you've taken a huge step toward becoming a prepared, professional host.
So let's just end with this one simple question. Your Airbnb here in Korea, it is, without a doubt, a business. The only question left is, are you actually running it like one? Because heading into 2025, that is the only way you're going to survive and thrive. Thanks for tuning in.